What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. All right, let's go to Horseshoe Indianapolis, race 12 on the Saturday card there at Horseshoe Indianapolis. It is the Indiana Derby. Going to be a good race out there. A mile and a 16th for this one. It is a grade 3 event. $300,000 the purse. We have a field of 9. We originally had a field of 8. And then they had to redraw because they forgot a horse, apparently. And so we had a field of 9. But we got there one way or another. It doesn't matter. As long as we're got the right horses in the right time when the race comes, that's all that matters. So, all right, let's get it to it. A field of 9. Like I said, we'll go through them one by one here. And boy, oh boy, this is a fun race, isn't it? A lot of horses. Like, oh yeah, I remember that horse from from somewhere or another, I should say. So, all right, let's get to it. Publisher kicks us off here. Everybody's favorite maiden. The horse is 0 for 8 coming into this race. The horse had a lot of false hype all through the Triple Crown. Well, I guess the Breeders' Cup. Geez, third time's a charm. The Kentucky Derby Trail, got a lot of hype in the Southwest, the Rebel, and the Arkansas Derby. And I say hype, got a lot of kind of, wise guy, quote unquote, wise guy type hype. And did run second in the Arkansas Derby, kind of set him up, for thought maybe he's going to run his best race in the Kentucky Derby, and he finished 14th. But, there was just a lot of those horses there. They also ran. It's just kind of like they all kind of group up, and you don't really hold it totally against them in the Kentucky Derby. He examined some of his other races. They gave him 4 tries at the maiden special weight level. He did finish second at Oaklawn on December 29th, as I keep on butchering this preview. And that was his best race. He ran pretty well that day. And then they decided to run in 4 graded stakes races after that. So 7th in the Southwest, 4th in the Rebel, 2nd in the Derby. Like I said, 14 in the Kentucky Derby. So I don't know. At this point, it's like, are you going to just continue to stick around and wait for this horse and keep betting this horse? I can't. Maybe one of these races he is going to jump up and win, and I'll be wrong for the first time. I haven't supported him in any of these, and it's just quite as simply as this. It's not only that he is a maiden running in a stakes race once again, it's point to a race where he should have won, or point to a race where you thought, man, he had it. Point to a race where he was close to winning. It hasn't happened, and that's what I kept saying all through the Derby Trail. And look, I love Steve Asmussen as a trainer. He's one of my favorites. I don't hate Publisher. Yeah, he is respectable at times, but on the win end, I can't do it. I can't even look at his maiden special weights and say, boy, he almost got there that day. So if I can't say that, I don't know. And again, I'm probably going to be wrong one of these races. It may be the Indiana Derby, but he's not for me in this spot. The number 2 is Master Controller. This was the forgotten horse. I don't know if he was a late entry or what, but he was not in the original drawing of the race, but he is in it now. So he's coming off of a maiden claiming win, albeit a high level maiden claiming win at Churchill Downs, $100,000 maiden claimer. And he ran well. That was the 6.5 furlongs. He won by a length. Ambitious to throw him in here. His other races against maiden special weights, he's had 3 of them. He wasn't close in any of the 3. So this is kind of a throw out to me. He'll have to jump up quite a bit for him to get the job done here. The number 3 is Coal Battle, a very popular horse that rattled off 4 straight victories, starting with the Jean Lafitte down at Delta Downs, in the Springboard Mile at Remington Park, the Smarty Jones at Oaklawn Park, and also the Rebel at Oaklawn Park. Arkansas Derby, he was 3rd. Kentucky Derby, he was 11th. Respectable in both accounts. Really not anything to get upset about one way or another in those races. Cutting back to a mile and a 16th of the Matt win, and I thought he kind of had every chance to win that one. It was a weird race, so I don't really hold it against him. 4-horse field, and just kind of they all ran in place. So I thought he had a chance, or every chance, I should say, in the stretch to get by, and he didn't. I'm still not going to hold it against him, though. I think he comes in here. This is a really good spot for him. I think he comes in here with a big shot. I think he's best at a mile 16th or less. I think this is kind of the level that fits him really well. So I think Coal Battle comes in with a big-time shot in this one, no doubt about it. The number 4 is Sean, and this is a horse that has been running and claiming races, albeit $50,000 claimers at Churchill Downs. He hasn't been winning, though. He hasn't won since breaking his maiden right here at Horseshoe Indianapolis in October of 2024. Kind of just an automatic pass for me. I just looks outclassed and needs to step up a bit too much. No interest for me in this one. I don't have a lot of interest in the win wager in the number 5 Chunk of Gold either. Look, in the Ohio Derby, I thought he was spotted absolutely beautifully. I picked him in the race. I thought it really, really set up well for him. Had no fear whatsoever of Clever Again, who faded again. But he got beat 2 lengths by Moplex, a horse that I wasn't very high on going into that race. I had him in 4th. I thought, oh, he'll probably run okay, but he wins by 2. Chunk of Gold, he just kind of looked exactly how he looked in the Louisiana Derby, the Risen Star, even the Leonidas. Just, yeah, he ran really, really well. He just never looked like he was actually going to win the race. And in fact, the margin was kind of widening as they got to the wire. I think he's the perfect underneath horse. I really thought the Ohio Derby was his spot. I really thought when they dropped him down and I handicapped that race, obviously you saw the preview if you watch our videos, I thought, man, this is perfect. He's going to win. If he doesn't win here, maybe he's just not cut out for this level. I don't know. Maybe I was a race too early. Maybe he gets it done here. I think this is a little bit sharper of a field, though. I think he's just a 2nd or 3rd place type, so I'll play him underneath. I'm not going to put him on top. And again, kind of like Publisher, if he burns me, he burns me, but he kind of burned me last time, and I just kind of I've made a big deal this year to don't hold one race against horses. I've talked about it a lot, and this is me not doing that really with Chunk of Gold. The Ohio Derby just kind of reaffirmed what I kind of thought might happen. He might just be that horse that hits the board, right? I really thought, boy, this is an easier race than Louisiana Derby and the Risen Star. I think now's the time, and he just kind of looked the same again. So it's not me being mad at him or anything like that. It's me just kind of look at him and going, yeah, that's kind of what he does, and I don't want to play him on the win end. Also, the Ohio Derby was bet down to 6-5, which was really gross as well. Even if he wins, it's like, boy, I don't think he should have been that price. So anyway, I'll quit talking about him. But I'd love to own him. He's a hell of a horse, very consistent, and I would not be shocked at all if he shows up and run really well. And if he wins, I wouldn't be totally shocked either. But he's just not for me this time around. The number 6 is Tip Top Thomas. I think he's pretty interesting. This was a horse that broke the maiden on debut at Saratoga. He came out of that fantastic maiden special weight that had Sovereignty in it, who ran 4th that day. That was at 6 furlongs. Stretch out to a mile, got beat by Chancer McPatrick in the Champagne. Obviously was injured, was off until April. Came back in an allowance optional claimer there at Keeneland in April and just looked dull as could be. Did not run well at all. Did run better last time out, going a mile in an optional claimer at Belmont at the Big A. Got the job done by 3 1/4. I'm kind of taking the wait and see approach as far as, okay, now he's going to a stakes company. Now he's stretching out to 2 turns for the first time. Let's see how he handles it. I haven't looked at the whole sequence yet, so he's kind of going to be one of those horses that's kind of on the border as far as me using him or not in pick 4s, pick 5s, maybe even doubles and things like that. So I like him. I just kind of want to wait and see here with him. I'm not totally convinced one way or another. I think he's back to kind of in good form, but now can he step up and stretch out? 2 big question marks for me. We'll see what the price is. If the price is good enough, you're getting kind of those question marks, but you got a good enough price, maybe you take a shot. I don't know. I'm on the fence with him. The number 7 is Big Truz. Interesting that Big Truz has been entered in the Iowa Derby and the Indiana Derby. If you watch my Iowa Derby preview, Big Truz is my top pick in that race. I think he's a little bit better suited for that race. However, I think he can compete here as well. You look at this field, there's no monsters in this race. I think he can compete in this spot. We've seen him 3 times, right? He broke his maiden very impressively by 4 lengths at Keeneland, going 6.5 furlongs. A horse named Fact was second in that race. He came back to romp at a maiden special weight himself. He was beaten by Patch Adams, going 6.5 furlongs at Churchill Downs in a race where Patch Adams was fantastic. He was so fantastic that the next time out, going 7 furlongs in the Woody Stevens, Patch Adams wins again, and it's Big Truz in 3rd that day. So really, he's been beaten by pretty darn good horses. Patch Adams kind of was a little bit of a disgrace, based on his hype and then what happened on the Kentucky Derby Trail. But as we've learned, it really wasn't that Patch Adams wasn't any good. It was he was running too long, because when he's sprinting, he's very sharp and he's very tough to beat. Therefore, I don't really hold those losses against Big Truz. I think he's doing well. Now, he's only ran 6.5 and 7 furlongs, but let's look at this pedigree. Horses by Justify out of a Curlin mare. I think he's going to be better stretching out in distance. I think he's going to be super tough in this spot here. So I like Big Truz quite a bit. I like him in the Iowa Derby. I like him here. as well. I think he'll stretch out and do just fine. The number 8 is Brother Kinney. This is a horse coming off of a allowance optional claimer win right here at Horseshoe Indianapolis. He also worked the maiden in Horseshoe Indianapolis as well. It took 6 starts, but the last 2 starts here at Horseshoe were wins. He's the local horse. He has to improve greatly, to compete with this company. But, if you like horses that have wins over the local strip, he's the one for you. Then finally, the number 9 Instant Replay. I think he'll be the favorite. I don't know. It might be Cole Battle. It might be Big Truz, but I kind of think it's going to be Instant Replay. He's won races very similar to this. He won the Bathhouse Row 2 races back at Oaklawn Park. He also won the Texas Derby there as well. 2 pretty good wins for him. He was 3rd in the Louisiana Derby. Chunk of Gold and Tistastic finished ahead of him. Tistastic has not turned out to be very good. Who won that race? Chunk of Gold, we kind of talked about him. He's kind of that second place type. I still thought it was an okay race from Instant Replay, though. I thought he was okay in that spot. But I don't know. Like, how good is he? I'm not quite sure. At Texas Derby, there wasn't a whole lot in that. Bathhouse Row, Caldera was in there. I mean, he's okay. Like I said, Louisiana Derby, we just talked about it. I don't know. I think he's a good horse for sure, talking about Instant Replay. Is he, the type that's going to rattle off wins of these Mid-American Derbies and say go to West Virginia or wherever next? I'm not sure. We'll have to just see what happens here. But, I mean, obviously he's in with a big shot. I mean, I think he will be the favorite and probably a deserving favorite at that. All right. That is the field of 9. Okay, so this is going to be very strange. I'm going to pick Big Truz to win this one. I've also picked him to win the Iowa Derby. So with that being said, whichever race Big Truz is in, I will pick him to win the race and bet him to win the race. If he pulls out of the Iowa Derby and he runs the Indiana Derby, I will take Magnitude in the Iowa Derby. I think he just stands out. I kind of want to play against him. I hope Big Truz stays in that race. But if he doesn't, I'll go ahead and just take Magnitude in the Iowa Derby. If Big Truz does not run in this race, I think I'll go with the number 3 Cole Battle. I kind of think this is a really good spot. I'll give him one more shot. I think he'll be tough in this one. I think he might be a little bit better than Instant Replay. So, yeah, I'm going to go number 3 Cole Battle if Big Truz does end up going to Iowa. So kind of a weird situation where a horse I like in both races, he's double entered. Obviously, he's not going to run in both. So I'm going to take him in both, and then I gave you the alternates just now. So we'll see what happens in this one. All right, guys, thanks, everybody, for joining me for this video. Hit the like button if you liked. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Horseshoe Indianapolis on Saturday.